Hi book friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today we are doing a try a chapter video. So I have seen this on Katie is Reading's channel and I really enjoy it. I'm sure a bunch of other people have done this as well, but I've really enjoyed watching her videos of this and I needed to pick a new physical book to read, so I thought this would be a fun time to try it out myself. I have my Bookish Box Mood Reader sweatshirt on because we are not sure what vibe I am feeling today. So I have 4 of the books that I talked about in my 8 books that I want to read by the end of 2022 video here. And I am going to read the first chapter of each and then pick what my next read is going to be out of those. So we have quite a variety. I will let you know what we're working with today, and then I will start reading the first chapters and let you know my thoughts and which one I end up picking. So the first one we have here is Shady Hollow by Juno Black. I'm not going to go into tons of detail on what these books are about because I talked about it in the other video, but this one is a cozy mystery about woodland creatures, so mystery genre covered. Then we have Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer. This is a YA high fantasy, so very different vibe. This one is a little chunkier, but I am really wanting to read this very soon because Laini Taylor is coming to my area for an event in the next couple of weeks, and so I'd like to have read one of her books before I go to that event. So that one is on the table as an option as well. Then we have a fantasy romance, or I guess more romance with fantasy vibes, because this I think belongs more in the romance genre. This is Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck, and I'm very intrigued in this like witchy romance vibe that we've got going on here. And then the 4th book that I will be trying the first chapter of is The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. This is a young adult or new adult. I'm not sure quite where it falls. It is a paranormal, contemporary, fantasy, dark academia. So we have 4, I think, pretty different books, things to choose from here. So clearly I am very much feeling like a mood reader today. I just really don't know what I'm interested in reading next. So I think this is gonna be the perfect time to try out this method and see if reading the first chapter will help me decide what kind of reading mood I'm in. I think I'm gonna start off with Shady Hollow today. So I am going to get cozy, snuggle up, and read the first chapter of this, and I will let you know my thoughts. I just finished the first chapter of Shady Hollow, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but my prediction before starting this try a chapter test was that this would probably be the one that I would pick. I just finished reading a different mystery. I kind of feel like I'm in a mystery mood possibly, so this was my prediction before starting. However, now that I have read the first chapter, I don't know if I got like a good enough picture of what this book's going to be like because it was so short. The prologue was kind of like exposition of like what the town is like and kind of like a different writing style, I think, than what the rest of the book is going to be. And then the first chapter, we didn't actually even meet our main character yet. It was a different character and like the crime, the murder has been discovered. And the writing style is fun. It's like kind of quirky, kind of this like dry, bland, expositional narration. And I don't know if that's what I'm in the mood for. I do feel like I'm still feeling the Zootopia vibes for sure. I really think I am going to enjoy this one. I'm intrigued by the premise of this story, but yeah, I just don't know if I got a good enough taste with just starting it to have this one be like the most like sucking me in out of what I'm going to read. We'll have to see. I still have 3 more to try, but I have finished the first chapter of this. Next up, my plan is to read the first chapter of Strange the Dreamer. I believe this one has a prologue as well, so I'll probably do prologue and chapter 1. This is quite dense, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be in the mood to jump into a dense high fantasy at the moment, but it is my favorite genre, and this is a book that I really want to read in the next couple of weeks, so we will give it a try. We will read the first chapter and see if this one really sucks me in. So if Shady Hollow's exposition and kind of tone is that dry, like da-da-da-da-da-da, intentionally like dry and simple writing style, Strange the Dreamer is the complete opposite. This writing style is so lyrical, so visual, and wow, really beautiful. It's definitely like more work to read, but oh my gosh, I'm already predicting this is going to be a 5-star read for me. So I read the prologue and chapter 1, and we met our main character Laszlo Strange, who is an orphan, and he is obsessed with this city that he keeps hearing about from these stories about this super magical city that has like all of these beautiful architecture and like tightrope walkers above the city all the time, and like just all of these like very mystical, whimsical, cool things happen in this city, and he's obsessed with it. As a child, he was like playing make-believe that he's there, and one day he's playing and all of the sudden he can't say the city's name anymore, and all he can say is weep. And so the city's name has been lost, magically disappeared from the minds of like anyone who knew about it, and all that was left was the word weep. And in the prologue, we kind of saw maybe what had happened in the city that might have caused that, I assume, is kind of what we saw in the prologue, and that was like very out there, like a blue woman falling and lots of interesting imagery there. So that was like very vague, and I'm very curious and intrigued to see what the heck this book is about. I very much feel connected already to our main character, only 1 chapter in. So this is definitely a contender. We'll have to see how the next 2 go, but this writing is stunning, and I'm definitely, whether this ends up being the book I pick today, I'm definitely going to read it very soon because oh my gosh, it's beautiful already. And to switch things up again, we are now going to read the first chapter of Small Town Big Magic, and this is my witchy romance. So I'm feeling this could be a contender as well. I have been very, very intrigued by this. I've been reading more and more of the romance genre, and I really enjoy when it has like not just romance as the main focus, but like incorporates other genres, whether that be mystery, fantasy, something else to kind of give it more plot and more intrigue. For me personally, I don't do a ton of like just plain romance. So this like witchy romance seems like maybe it'll be my cup of tea. I'm very intrigued by the premise, so excited to try the first chapter of this and see what I think of it. So I just finished the first chapter of Small Town Big Magic, and the witchy rom-com vibes here are another level. Like Gilmore Girls vibes with this town, which I'm obsessed with. I'm really enjoying the comedy. This main character does kind of remind me of Lorelai a little bit. Not like, she doesn't have a daughter, it's a different like story, but just her like humor and her sass, and she's very like feminist vibes, which is super fun, and she's like girl boss business owner. I'm super enjoying this. And she has this feud with the town mayor, and that's kind of what I've learned about so far, is kind of like her warring with the town mayor and like her whole life. And so you get their backstory, you get a little bit about her like found family with her friendships in the town and her bookstore that she owns, and she is basically trying to like improve the town that she loves and kind of bring it forward into the 21st century is kind of the vibes I'm getting so far. And I've been like laughing and smiling reading this, so I don't know, maybe this is the one. I'm really enjoying it so far, just the first chapter. So I have one more chapter to try, and that is the first chapter of The Whispering Dark, which I'm also excited about. This will be, again, very different vibes. We're going dark academia, young adult paranormal, but I think this is the top contender at the moment. I'll let you know when I'm done with The Whispering Dark's first chapter. Friends, I think I picked my end of year TBR really well because I also super enjoyed the first chapter of The Whispering Dark. This dark academia is like one of my favorite subgenres, like a fantasy dark academia is definitely my vibe. This I feel is gonna be like super up my alley. I'm really gonna enjoy this one. So in the first chapter, we meet our main character, Delaney, who is deaf and is kind of like treated as very fragile, and she wants to prove herself. And I really enjoy this author is also deaf, so I feel like we're gonna get a really good perspective and really great representation, which is always important in books. And so Delaney wants to go prove herself, and she is going off to college, and she's applied for this program that will select a college for her and pay for it, but she has to go like where they chose. And so she has this kind of affinity for darkness and shadows, and she gets selected to go to this kind of occult, creepy college that teaches their students how to slip between worlds. And people, like, some people don't believe that that's real. They think it's just like smoke and mirrors type stuff. But Delaney gets chosen to go there, and so she ends up at this school, and we see her on her first day there, running to catch an elevator, and there is a boy in the elevator who lets the door close, and she like pushes the button and it opens back up, and he recognizes her. But I don't know that she knows who he is, and I think from what we know from the synopsis, I think this boy died as a child and woke up weeks later alive, and she was there when he came back. So lots of interesting stuff going on here. Honestly, I feel like out of the four, this book is the most me, like the most, for sure, my genre, my vibe, young adult, new adult, fantasy with dark academia vibes, like yes. So I feel like this would be a shoo-in pick of like, yes, I'm gonna enjoy reading this. This one, it's just like so fun and a genre that I'm trying to get into. This one is gorgeous and I know I'm going to love it, but I don't think it's gonna be this one. I think I'm gonna put this one aside just because I don't feel like I'm in the mental space for something this dense, and I want to give this one the best chance I can give it to fall in love with it, because I think I will love it if I read it at the right time. And then we have this fun cozy mystery, which I do think I'm going to enjoy, but I also don't feel like I'm in the mood for this. I thought I was gonna be in a mystery mood because I just came off of a mystery, and I actually think that's the reason I'm not gonna be in a mystery mood now, as I want something different than the last thing I read. So we're putting those two aside, and we are down to this choice: The Whispering Dark and Small Town Big Magic. I don't know what I want to read. I think we're gonna do this. I think I'm feeling Small Town Big Magic. I'm ready for a laugh, and this one was making me giggle, and I think it's gonna be super fun. I think this is the one. I think this is the one I'm going to choose. Small Town Big Magic it is. I will try to read the rest of them by the end of the year, so they're all on my end of year TBR. But I think for right now, the mood that this mood reader is in is a witchy rom-com with vibes that remind me of Shady Hollow. So here we go. I'm excited. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this try a chapter video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content if you want to hear my thoughts on this book and the rest of them that hopefully I will read. You can subscribe and see my monthly wrap-up videos where I will talk about how I feel about everything that I read. So if you're looking for my thoughts and opinions after more than just one chapter, stick around for that. I hope you will, and let me know in the comments which one of these four you would have chosen if you were picking between these. I'm very curious which one you feel would be the most your vibe and you would be interested in. So let me know that down below, and thanks for hanging out. I will talk to you guys in the next video.